Welcome to today's news wrap up. Let's dive into the top stories making headlines. Kristi Noem has been confirmed as the Secretary of Homeland Security, receiving bipartisan support despite opposition from some Democrats. She will oversee agencies like U.S. Customs and Border Protection and Immigration and Customs Enforcement, with plans for significant changes under President Trump. Noem assured the disaster aid will be administered impartially, regardless of political influence. Pete Hegseth has been confirmed as Secretary of Defense after Vice President J.D. Vance cast a tie-breaking vote in the Senate. Hegseth plans to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives in the military, arguing they undermine national security. His confirmation is part of President Trump's broader strategy to close all federal DEI offices and place workers on paid leave. The CIA now believes with low confidence that COVID-19 originated from a lab in Wuhan, China, joining the Department of Energy and FBI in this assessment. Welcome to the club. About time they came to that conclusion, finally. This conclusion follows a second look at the condition of the Wuhan labs, although no new materials are available for public inspection. Former Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe has long argued that a lab leak is the most credible explanation, citing intelligence and circumstantial evidence. General Mike T. Flynn argues that the CIA has been engaged in a political vendetta against Donald Trump, influencing American governance through manipulative tactics. He highlights the agency history of political interference, especially under former CIA Director John Brennan, who Flynn accuses of initiating the Russia collusion narrative against Trump. Flynn suggests that the success of Trump's second term will hinge on recognizing and neutralizing this threat from the CIA to prevent further political sabotage. Bill Maher criticized birthright citizenship on his show, arguing that it has been misused by practices like birth tourism. He acknowledged that changing it would require a constitutional amendment, but questioned its overall benefit. Maher also mentioned President Trump's actions and views on various issues, including TikTok and, of course, like I mentioned, birthright citizenship. Chicago public school officials mistakenly believe federal agents investigating a threat against President Trump were from ICE and denied them entry. The school later clarified that their actions were based on a misunderstanding and emphasized their commitment to protecting students from immigration enforcement. The Secret Service confirmed they were not involved in immigration matters and were only investigating the threat. President Donald Trump's administration is cracking down on illegal immigration, with Trump advisor Stephen Miller warning that local officials who harbor illegal aliens will face arrest and prosecution. Following Trump's return to the White House, he issued orders declaring a national emergency at the border and empowering ICE agents to make arrests in previously restricted areas like schools and churches. The Justice Department has also targeted officials in sanctuary jurisdictions for obstructing federal immigration enforcement, with Miller emphasizing that the law applies to everyone, promising an aggressive enforcement scale up to dismantle criminal networks. Former President Joe Biden, and I'm so happy to say that, former President Joe Biden, a Catholic, joined the African American Masonic Lodge as a Master Mason, which would lead to excommunication from the Catholic Church. The Vatican has historically opposed Freemasonry, and Biden's membership contradicts his faith. Despite this, Biden's service aligns with the values of the Masonic Brotherhood. President Trump signed an executive order to temporarily halt spending authorized by Congress targeting infrastructure and climate change projects. His administration argues that the Impoundment Control Act, which limits presidential power to withhold funds, is unconstitutional. Critics, however, believe this move oversteps presidential authority and could face legal challenges. Tom Homan responded to the Pope's criticism of U.S. deportation efforts by urging the Pope to focus on fixing the Catholic Church. Homan argued that securing the border saves lives and reduces crime, contrasting the Vatican's strict security measures with the U.S. border situation. He emphasized that fewer illegal crossings would lead to fewer crimes and deaths. Judicial Watch has filed a lawsuit against Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson for records related to his pledge to resist federal immigration enforcement under the Trump administration. Johnson reaffirmed Chicago's status as a sanctuary city and had vowed to shield all immigrants from federal agents, despite potential federal funding cuts. The lawsuit claims the mayor's office failed to provide adequate responses to a Freedom of Information Act request regarding these efforts. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, leaders discussed plans for mass vaccination with long-acting mRNA vaccines every 6 months to combat various diseases. Discussions included the use of AI in developing precision medicine for conditions like cancer, with executives from Pfizer and Novartis highlighting technical advancements. Additionally, there were talks about addressing vaccine hesitancy through measures like vaccine passports and preparing for future pandemics like bird flu, with a focus on global collaboration. Nicole Shanahan, previously Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s running mate, has voiced serious concerns about the use of AI to develop mRNA vaccines for mass vaccination, warning that such technologies could lead to an extinction level event by depopulating the human race, she says. During an interview with Megyn Kelly, she criticized the readiness of mRNA vaccines for human use, citing inconsistent results and the need for a moratorium, especially in light of tech billionaire Larry Ellison's promotion of AI-driven mRNA cancer treatments. Shanahan highlighted the distinction between AI as a computer system versus human health, cautioning against the rapid deployment of such untested treatments. Tom Homan criticized Pope Francis for his comments on U.S. immigration policies, accusing the Pope of hypocrisy due to the Vatican's strict security measures. Homan argued that securing the U.S. border saves lives, as I alluded to earlier, and reduces crime, and suggested the Pope should focus on addressing issues within the Catholic Church. Dana Patrick supported President Trump's decision to revoke Dr. Anthony Fauci's security detail, calling it, quote, damn right, on her Instagram story. She criticized Fauci for his actions during the COVID-19 pandemic and argued that he can afford his own security. John Brennan, a former CIA director known for his partisan leanings, is accused of attempting to obscure his role in misleading the public about Hunter Biden's laptop being Russian disinformation. He was among 51 intelligence professionals, who y'all know I've reported on many times, who signed a letter suggesting the laptop content was part of a Russian operation, which was used by Joe Biden to deflect during the presidential debate. We all remember that. Now, with the laptop's authenticity confirmed, Brennan is criticized for his part in what's described as an effort to manipulate the 2020 election outcome. California secessionists have filed a ballot initiative to make the state an independent country, requiring over 546,651 signatures by July 22nd to proceed. If successful, voters in 2028 will decide whether California should leave the United States. Wow. The initiative's cost is estimated at $10 million, with $2 million in annual state costs to maintain the commission. President Trump criticized environmental groups in California, urging them to change their ways to better manage forest fires. He highlighted how other countries like Austria and Finland manage their forests to prevent fires. Trump emphasized the need for controlled burns and better forest management to reduce risks of wildfires. And lastly, Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey supports the arrest of illegal immigrant criminals, but maintains that the state police will not assist in mass deportation efforts. She emphasized that Massachusetts is not a sanctuary state and will cooperate with federal authorities on criminal matters. However, Healey and other state officials opposed the Trump administration's directive to investigate local officials who obstruct federal immigration enforcement. Well, that's all for today's news wrap up. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.